Have you ever paused and truly considered what a second chance at love, particularly after reaching your 60s, might really look like? It's a question that gently knocks on the hearts of so many of us, especially as we navigate the quiet of an empty nest or the profound shift after a loss. Perhaps you felt that familiar pang of longing for companionship, for someone to share life's simple moments with, or even just to have a hand to hold. The thought of new romance, of laughter echoing through your home once more, can be incredibly alluring, a beautiful vision for a new chapter. But here's a truth many don't talk about openly. While the idea of a new beginning filled with companionship and shared joy is undeniably appealing, diving into remarriage after 60 without a clear head and an open dialogue can sometimes lead to unforeseen challenges, even heartbreak. It's not about dimming the light of hope or suggesting that love isn't possible, quite the opposite. It's about illuminating the path ahead, making sure it's as smooth and joyful as possible for both you and your potential partner. Many people rush into new relationships fueled by loneliness or the excitement of a fresh start, only to discover later that some crucial groundwork was missed. This oversight can create friction in areas you might not have even considered problematic in earlier marriages. In this conversation today, we're going to gently explore 5 crucial things, 5 deep considerations that are absolutely vital to think about before you say, "I do" again. These aren't obstacles, they're signposts, guiding you towards a truly fulfilling union that lasts. So, settle in, because you'll want to watch all the way to the end for something that might just completely surprise you about finding happiness later in life. Now, let's dive right into the very first, and perhaps one of the most practical considerations that often gets overlooked in the initial blush of new romance: your financial landscape. When you were younger, perhaps starting your first marriage, finances often revolved around building a life together from scratch, saving for a home, raising a family, or planning for retirement far in the future. But now, after 60, the financial picture is entirely different. You've likely spent decades building your own security, whether through pensions, investments, or careful savings. Your adult children might even be anticipating a future inheritance, or perhaps you're already managing your finances on a fixed income. These are all established realities. Imagine Sarah, who had meticulously planned her retirement funds, ensuring she had enough to live comfortably and even leave a little something for her grandchildren. When she met Mark, a wonderful man who brought her immense joy, the topic of money felt awkward. They were both financially independent. But how would that independence be maintained if they merged their lives? Would her careful planning be affected by his spending habits or his existing debts? This isn't about suspicion. It's about practical reality and protecting the security you've worked so hard for. Or consider John, who suddenly found his adult children worried about their inheritance when he began talking about remarriage. They had assumed his assets would one day pass directly to them, and the idea of a new spouse potentially having a claim created unforeseen tension and concern within the family. These are very real, very human reactions. It's crucial to have open conversations about your individual financial situations, your assets, your debts, and your long-term goals. Do you plan to keep separate accounts, or will you merge them? What about prenuptial agreements for some? The idea of a prenuptial agreement feels unromantic, even distrustful. But in later life, it's not about mistrust. It's about clarity, protection, and respect for each other's financial histories and for your existing family's future. It's a loving way to ensure that difficult situations don't arise later, potentially causing pain or legal disputes for your children. Discussing topics like potential long-term care costs, how you'll manage shared expenses, and the distribution of assets upon passing can prevent immense stress and resentment down the line. Remember, money isn't just numbers on a bank statement. It's about security, autonomy, and avoiding situations where one partner feels financially burdened or taken advantage of. Open and honest financial conversations, though sometimes uncomfortable, can actually strengthen trust and lay a solid foundation for your relationship, ensuring you both feel secure and respected, beyond the numbers. Another area that requires immense thought and sensitivity is the blending of families, especially when both partners bring adult children and perhaps even grandchildren into the picture. When you were younger, blending families might have meant navigating step-parenting young children. Now, you're dealing with grown adults who have their own lives, their own loyalties, and their own deeply established relationships with you. They might have complex emotions about seeing you with a new partner, especially if your previous spouse has passed away. There can be unspoken expectations around holidays, family gatherings, and future caregiving responsibilities. Think of Michael, whose children felt replaced and even a little threatened when he remarried. They saw his new wife as an intruder, leading to friction during family events and making Michael feel caught in the middle. He loved his new wife dearly, but the tension with his children cast a shadow over their happiness. On the other hand, Eleanor, a widow, carefully and gradually introduced her new partner, David, to her adult children. She listened to their concerns, reassured them of her continued love and commitment to them, and didn't force instant bonding. David, for his part, was patient and understanding, never trying to step into the role of their father, but simply building a respectful, friendly relationship with them over time. He understood his place was as Eleanor's partner, and he gave her children the space they needed. It took time, but eventually, everyone found a comfortable equilibrium. It's absolutely crucial to have open communication with your adult children before marriage, not just announce a fait accompli. Listen to their feelings, acknowledge their concerns, and reassure them that your new relationship won't diminish your bond with them. Set clear boundaries, and don't expect instant adoration or a picture-perfect blended family. It's about fostering respect and understanding, creating a peaceful coexistence rather than forcing an artificial closeness. Understand that adult children often have a very deep, established relationship with their parents, and a new relationship can feel threatening or like a betrayal if not handled with immense care and sensitivity. The goal isn't necessarily for everyone to be one big, happy family immediately, but to foster respect and understanding among all parties. This might mean adjusting holiday plans, or having separate family gatherings at times, or finding unique ways to include everyone. Understanding how these family dynamics can play out is crucial, and it naturally leads us to think about a truly important, and often deeply personal, aspect of embarking on this new chapter, maintaining your own sense of self and independence. After years, perhaps decades, of living a certain way, of having your own space, your own treasured routines, and your own established habits, suddenly sharing your life, your home, your very daily rhythm with another person can be a beautiful adjustment, but also one that requires incredibly mindful navigation. We're talking about maintaining your cherished personal space and autonomy. For many of us over 60, we've enjoyed a significant period of independence. You've likely cultivated your own hobbies, your own circle of friends, and a way of organizing your home and your time that suits you perfectly. You know what you like for breakfast, how long you prefer to read in the morning, or which armchair is your favorite for watching the news. Imagine a couple, David and Patricia, both vibrant individuals in their late 60s. They fell deeply in love, but after years of living alone, they realized the thought of completely merging households filled them with a little anxiety. David cherished his quiet mornings in his garden, while Patricia loved her weekly book club meetings at her own home, followed by a specific quiet time. They discussed it openly and decided to live in separate homes initially, finding that weekly dates, shared weekends, and holidays truly enriched their relationship without either of them sacrificing their established comforts and personal freedom. This arrangement might not be for everyone, but for them, It allowed their love to flourish without the friction of everyday adjustments. Or consider Susan, an avid painter who insisted on keeping her art studio, a place where she could retreat and create, even after moving into her partner's larger home. It was her sanctuary, and her partner, understanding her need for creative space and solitude, fully supported it. It's about more than just physical space. It's about respecting each other's established habits, preferences, and the need for quiet reflection or individual pursuits. Do you both enjoy the same level of social activity, or does one prefer more solitude? Are your daily routines compatible? These seemingly small differences can become significant if not discussed. It's important to have conversations about designated personal spaces, whether it's an entire room or just a favorite corner, and respecting each other's routines. Continuing individual friendships and hobbies is also vital. Your partner doesn't have to be your entire world, and a healthy relationship thrives when both individuals bring their full, rich lives to the partnership, rather than feeling they have to sacrifice parts of themselves. Independence isn't about being apart. It's about having a strong sense of self within the partnership. It's about bringing two full lives together, not merging into one diluted existence. The joy comes from sharing, not from sacrificing identity. This kind of respect for each other's autonomy fosters a deeper, more resilient connection. Now, as we mature, our bodies and our needs evolve, and it's imperative to gently, but honestly, discuss the realities of health, potential caregiving roles, and future support. This might feel like a somber topic, but it's one of the most loving and responsible conversations you can have. As we age, the likelihood of developing chronic conditions increases, and the potential need for long-term care becomes a very real consideration. When you remarry after 60, you're not just choosing a partner for today, but for a future that will inevitably include aging bodies and changing health needs. Are you prepared to potentially become a caregiver, or to be cared for? Have you discussed what that might look like? Consider Mark and Linda, who, before marrying, had frank conversations about their individual health histories. Mark had a family history of heart disease, and Linda had early signs of arthritis. They openly discussed their wishes regarding medical decisions, advanced directives, and wills. They even visited a senior living facility together, not because they planned to move in immediately, but to understand the range of options available for future support. This practical approach allowed them to face the future with a shared understanding, reducing anxiety about what might come. Compare this to Joan and Robert, who fell deeply in love in their late 60s, but avoided any talk of health. When Robert had a sudden stroke, Joan, unprepared, found herself overwhelmed by the caregiving responsibilities, the financial implications, and the emotional toll. Their love was strong, but the lack of prior discussion created immense stress and unforeseen strain on their relationship. It's not about being morbid. It's about being pragmatic and profoundly loving. Discussing each other's health concerns, understanding limitations, and predetermining how you might handle caregiving responsibilities can prevent immense emotional and financial distress. Do you both have long-term care insurance? Have you shared your healthcare proxies and powers of attorney with each other? These aren't just legal documents, they're expressions of love and trust, ensuring that difficult decisions are made together, or at least discussed beforehand. It's about setting up a framework of support and understanding, ensuring that you're both on the same page about how you'll navigate the inevitable challenges of aging. It's about realistic expectations for the later years, ensuring that neither of you feels blindsided or unfairly burdened. These are weighty topics, aren't they? But discussing them openly lays a foundation of trust that is invaluable. And it naturally leads us to our fifth and final consideration, one that underpins every happy, lasting relationship, no matter the age, shared values, and future vision. Finally, we arrive at the heart of any truly deep connection, aligning on shared values, understanding each other's life goals, and managing expectations. After living a full life, you've likely developed a strong sense of what truly matters to you. This isn't just about having similar interests, like enjoying the same movies or hobbies. It goes deeper. It's about your core beliefs, your spirituality, your political leanings, your approach to family, your lifestyle choices, your sense of purpose, and what a good day truly looks like for you. It's not just about what you do together, but how you see the world and your place in it, and how you envision this precious, final chapter of your lives unfolding. Consider Clara and Robert, who discovered their shared passion for volunteering and a desire to travel extensively in their later years. These weren't just passing interests, they were core values that shaped their aspirations. They spent hours discussing the causes they cared about, the places they longed to see, and how they wanted to leave a legacy. These shared dreams became central to their new life together, creating countless cherished memories and a profound sense of shared purpose. Their relationship blossomed because their deeper values aligned, giving them a clear, exciting vision for their future. On the other hand, imagine Sarah and Tom. They enjoyed each other's company immensely, but as they talked more seriously about their future, they realized Tom envisioned a quiet, solitary life focused on his hobbies at home, while Sarah yearned for an active social calendar, travel, and constant engagement with community groups. Their fundamental values for daily living and long-term happiness were quite different. Rather than trying to force a fit, or hoping one would change for the other, they amicably decided to remain devoted companions without marriage, protecting their individual happiness and preventing a future filled with unspoken resentments. They understood that while love was present, their life goals simply weren't compatible enough for a marital commitment. These are the kinds of conversations that require honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to truly listen. What does commitment mean to you now? Compared to when you were younger, is it about constant togetherness, or a respectful balance of shared time and individual pursuits? What are your deepest desires for this chapter of your life? Are you seeking adventure, quiet companionship, intellectual stimulation, or something else entirely? It's about defining what happiness means for each of you individually, and then discovering how that can be woven into a shared tapestry. After 60, you're often not trying to build a life from scratch with someone. You're integrating two very full, established lives. This requires immense flexibility, empathy, and a profound respect for each other's unique journeys. It's about building a future that enhances, not diminishes, your individual well-being and sense of purpose. It's about being truly seen and understood, and embracing the freedom that comes with knowing who you are and what you truly desire in this precious new chapter. The surprising truth is that having these deep, honest conversations doesn't complicate love. It strengthens it. It lays the groundwork for a relationship built on genuine understanding, mutual respect, and a shared vision, making your connection far more profound and enduring. So, we've walked through some profoundly important areas today, haven't we? From safeguarding your financial independence and navigating the beautiful complexities of blending families, to consciously preserving your own cherished personal space and having those vital, honest conversations about health and future care. And finally, aligning your deepest values and expectations for this precious new chapter of your life. Each one of these considerations, when approached with open hearts and clear minds, isn't a hurdle or something to fear, but a powerful stepping stone towards a relationship that truly enriches your golden years. It's about building a foundation of understanding and respect that allows love to flourish without the weight of unspoken concerns. Creating a partnership that feels truly safe, joyful, and deeply connected. Remember, embarking on a new romantic journey after 60 is a testament to your courage, your unwavering capacity for love, and your beautiful belief in life's endless possibilities. It's not about finding a perfect match, Because perfection doesn't exist, but about finding a wonderful companion with whom you can openly discuss these realities, shaping a future together that honors both your individual histories and your shared aspirations. Small changes in how you approach these conversations, a willingness to be vulnerable and truly listen, can make an immeasurable difference to your health, your happiness, and the longevity of your union. This chapter of your life holds so much potential for joy, companionship, and new adventures. By considering these essential elements, you're not just preparing for marriage, you're preparing for a deeper, more meaningful connection that truly brings you peace and happiness. We'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you navigated remarriage after 60, or are you considering it? What were your biggest learnings, challenges, or perhaps delightful surprises? Share your wisdom, your stories, and your insights in the comments below. Your experiences can truly illuminate the path for others who are contemplating this significant step. If this conversation resonated with you, if it gave you something valuable to think about, please do give this video a thumbs up. It helps us know what content you find most helpful. And if you want more insights and encouragement to help you live your fullest, most vibrant life, no matter your age, then subscribe to our channel. We're here to support you every step of the way. Life after 60 is a vibrant, exciting adventure, full of potential for new connections and deep happiness. Embrace the truth, prepare wisely, and live your best life at every age. You truly deserve all the joy and companionship this wonderful chapter has to offer.